All right, guys. If y'all can hear us, we're just waiting for it to actually roll on the computer. There it is. It looks like we're live. So I'll wait a few moments until I see at least somebody pop up in the chat. On my side, an ad is playing. So give me a moment. If you guys hear me rambling, this is definitely the Sim Standard Podcast, episode 222. Whose man is in the building? What's up, man? He said, what up, Sim? So we know it's working. So anyway, guys, welcome back. Excuse me. Welcome back, man. It's been a while. Been a couple weeks that we haven't done a show. And, you know, we've had some life things happen. You know, I'll let Smitty dive into that if he wants. But, you know, we've told you guys on Twitter that Smitty had some more important things to attend to. So, you know, we just didn't have a show or what have you. But we're back now, just in time to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and all of that. And we got a few things to talk about, man. And it's funny because I catch myself looking in the camera and I forgot that we don't broadcast our face anymore. But Smitty, me and him are seeing each other in Skype, so it's awkward. I keep looking in the camera like I'm talking to you guys. But anyway, man, we want to talk about some gaming dreadful times, if you will, man. Like you see in the title, has football video gaming hit an all-time low. And we got so much to talk about around that. There's some positive things to talk about, but, we'll just base our conversation around that. Where we'll talk about the state of Madden. We'll talk about All Pro Football. There's an editor out there. Shout outs to Yavo. I believe he's responsible for it. As you can see, guys, we've had issues with guys in the past, but it ain't about that. I'm going to give him credit for doing his thing, whether he is cool with us or not. And then, we're going to talk about the Madden NFL 19 mod. A lot of stuff to talk about there, whether you're talking about just the game or the NCAA mod. And that's about it. This might be a fairly short show, guys. We'll see how long we go. I'm going to be very honest with you guys. I had to travel into my job today because I'm off tomorrow. I literally just got in the house maybe 15 minutes ago. I got dinner sitting in front of me right here. I'm beat, so we don't know. We don't know how long it's going to go, but if you guys keep us entertained, we'll try to do our best to keep you guys entertained. So first and foremost, man, we'll go around. Myself and Smitty will give you our quick thoughts on the week. I'll probably give my quick thoughts on what I've done since we've been out. Quick thoughts on the Steelers. I'm going to assume Smitty's probably going to talk about the Pistons more so than the Lions. But he'll also let you know what's been going on with him the last couple of weeks. So what's going on, Smitty, man? How was your few weeks? And, anything you want to talk about sports related or anything else before we dive into the topics?
Yeah, I'll just say this as far as the sports side. I mean, the sports, Detroit sports been a bit rough. Detroit Lions, I mean, it's a wrap on their season out of the way. So my big time concerns about it have really went by the wayside tremendously. So I'm really focusing on those guys. Pistons are building something, they're building something. They got some good potential. So I do like what they're, what they're doing and what they're trying to do. So, but those guys, I expect them, like if I were to have any real expectation, my expectation would be for them to go like, maybe I would say at this point right now, maybe a 6 seed in the East, 6 or 7 seed. They could do better, but I mean, Blake needs some consistent help. Like look, Drummond need to quit playing around and honestly need to step up. Like they need some consistent help because Blake is working. Like he want to do something. I don't know what's going on with the other fellas. Like they need to get it together for real, for real. They got a good coach. They have a good enough team. You know what I'm saying? So they just got to quit. They just need to play with some consistency together. But outside of that, like what Sim had mentioned there before, and, some of you guys are following me on Twitter. You guys know what I've had going on for the past few weeks, so I haven't been here. We haven't done the show. And for those that don't know, I just had, my wife had we had our son prematurely. So basically, my wife was going through, she was having some shortness of breath issues, things like that going on. Had to call 911, get the ambulance to the house, take her to the hospital, and come to find out that, she had preeclampsia. And basically the only way to cure preeclampsia is by birthing the child. Like there is no technical cure they could really do for it. And the thing is that she had the problem was that her blood pressure was ridiculously high, and doctors tried to get it regulated, and they weren't really able to do so. So what they had to do, so basically, they told her and as well as myself, we didn't necessarily think it was a huge deal going on, but until the doctors told us, it was like by the time this weekend is over, in the next 2 3 days, you're gonna have, you're having a child. You know what I'm saying? So we were like, whoa, okay. So like, oh, we didn't know it was like that. But the thing is, she was in such a bad state with the blood pressure, like she potentially could have died. She could have had a stroke. She could have had a seizure. You know what I'm saying? And that's what was like, I didn't really know that until well after the fact. So thank God, because she wasn't exactly handled the best way that she should have been initially until later on that day. But just fast forwarding from that, though, thank God for keeping her, stable enough that she could be cared for properly. And then also the same thing, we had our son. He was 1 pound, 13 ounces on December 6th. So that's when he was born at 10:06 p.m. Eastern time. And from there, I mean, he's just been progressively doing well. He's had a day here and there where he'll have a little bit of a setback or what have you, but that's expected. But overall, his progression is going good. Like he's doing really good. And yeah, we just do the best we can to make sure that she's doing well and baby's doing well and all that. But thank you. I want to say this once again. I know I didn't get to everybody's tweet and everything. As I originally meant to reply back to everybody, but thank you once again, every single person, for the prayers, for the well wishes, for everything, because my wife and I truly appreciate it a ton. I definitely do, no doubt. And I will definitely post up more pictures and everything else. I'll make sure to get that all up there. I'll post some pics and share some posts when I do go to the hospital. Again, like, I mean, we go almost every day, but what I'm saying, when I'm spending time with him, I'm not necessarily trying to photo op every time, but wife usually does, but I don't always. But I'll get some more pictures and post them up here, share it with you guys as well. But yeah, so thank you very much, all of you guys. But I've been wanting to get into this gaming and break bread and talk about all this stuff for a mighty long time. So I'm glad that we're back on and we could definitely break some good bread. So very, very much appreciate every single one of you guys. So thank y'all very much from the bottom of our hearts. Thanks. But
Definitely, man.
yours, yeah.
To add to that, man, appreciate you guys being patient with us. As you can see, life way more important than, I don't want to say it's not important, but y'all understand. I mean, the show was just like an afterthought with that stuff going on. So we appreciate y'all being patient with us, hanging in there, man. And then we're back at it. I'll be quick. It ain't really much to talk about outside of, y'all know I always talk about the Jekyll and Hyde Steelers. It's been 2 weeks since we've been on the show, and y'all have seen what they've done in these 2 weeks. You lose to the Chargers, which, in my opinion, you could have won that game. I mean, come on. You're up 16 points at half. I mean, a team with any decent defense in the way they were dominating that game, they should have won it. They lost it. Okay, we all know how they were lost the Denver game. I think we talked about that. But then they lose to the Raiders. The Oakland Raiders. A 2-10 team. How does that happen? You just see, I mean, you can't run the ball on a team that's one of the worst against the run. And lo and behold, look what happens. They're back up against the wall, and the Patriots come into town, and they finally get their revenge on the Patriots. Jekyll and Hyde. Even though, let's not kid ourselves, the Patriots are not that juggernaut Patriot team anymore at this current moment. But, you know, still a relatively decent team. You know, they still will probably make the playoffs some kind of way. But it's just weird. And now they got to go play the Saints in New Orleans. I don't expect a win there. I just don't. Really quick, best case scenario for the Steelers in order for them to make the playoffs, I feel like what's going to happen is they will probably lose to New Orleans, which, makes sense. They'll probably lose to New Orleans. And then they'll probably come back and they'll have to face off against the Cincinnati Bengals to finish a season at 9-6-1, best case scenario, and hope for a Ravens loss against the Chargers this week, which will make it an easier way to get in. If they lose and the Steelers win one of two next games, they're in the playoffs, but I have no idea how far they're going to go in the playoffs anyway. Well, that's just my quick assessment. Good to see them fight, man, and good to see them, get the Patriots back because the Patriots have owned the Pittsburgh Steelers. But that's how my couple weeks have been. They haven't been very eventful. But yeah, welcome, guys. And I see a few people in here, man, that come through to my Terrible Towel Tuesday, and, a lot of Steeler fans. So now you guys are able to see me, catch me in another stream. This is where we mainly talk about gaming and sports and, life in general. But for you guys that don't know, Smitty and myself, are EA Sports Game Changers. We work on Madden, give the best feedback we can, try to make the game the best it can be. Ironically, we're going to talk about our frustration with Madden tonight and the state of football gaming. So listen in if you want to hear that. And like I said, we may or may not go all the way to 10 tonight. Y'all know news starts to dwindle down a little bit around these times, but we'll see. So without further ado, man, Smitty, I'll kick it off, man, and just to set the tempo. Oh, man, where should we begin with Madden? Yeah, I'm so frustrated. Let me start it off with this. And I'm going to come back to this later in the show for those who will come in later. I feel like I'm at the point, man, where I'm not really going to give... This is going to sound kind of weird to some people because, on one hand, you're like, well, you got to give feedback. How else are you going to make the game better? But on the other hand, I think you guys understand where I'm coming from. Y'all haven't seen a lot of feedback videos from me lately. I post them here and there. I just posted one yesterday. But honestly, man, it's the broken record effect. It's the beating of the dead horse, whatever your cliche is. It's the same feedback that we constantly give them in certain areas. Zone play, weight and momentum, physical mass mattering, real player motion, meaning it doesn't just look cute in the animation. It's actual real player motion. RPM being attainable, being relevant at all times. Reducing the amount of sliding and warping. A player relative positioning mattering. These are the things that we talk about all the time with gameplay. Those are pretty much the things. And if you fix those things, then the rest of the game would fall into place. If physics is always being accounted for, a player's weight and momentum and collisions and all of that augment animations, a player's relative positioning matters, meaning if he's not in position, he can't make the play. In the trenches, if leverage is there, you could knock a guy off his feet. How many times do you look at the NFL and just go, especially me now with me doing like the Steelers breakdown and the All-22, I see all kinds of crazy stuff. I see big, giant men being knocked to the ground because they're off balance. Guys like Alejandro Villanueva, this dude is 6'8", 300 plus, and I've seen him get knocked down by a cornerback because he got caught out of position. None of this stuff matters really in Madden. The most organic part of Madden is tackling, and that's not always great because there's still scripted sequences there at times. But the most organic, to me, part of Madden where you get it is in tackling. Why can't the rest of this game be that way? So to get back to my point, I feel like I'm burnt out with feedback. Because until they fix these things, man, that are key, we're going to be talking about the same thing all the time. And for those of you who didn't see it, I'm going to grab the most recent video I posted. And it's funny, Smitty, because, you know, most people agreed. And it's not about people agreeing and disagreeing. I don't need people to agree with me. I don't need people to disagree or whatever. That's not the point. But it's funny to me how every time I make these type of videos, you always have the one person or a few people that'll say, oh, well, you made the wrong read. Oh, well, you got to pass it like this. Oh, and they completely ignore the real core problem that a defender, whether ball hawk or whatever is on, because I think that's what drives it, they shouldn't be able to warp in position. You can't make any anticipation throws in this game. You know, there's another interception that I didn't show in the footage where you all have seen it, where it's a streak route, right? And the defender, they all running, and all of a sudden the defender turns around and jumps it and picks it off, and your receiver acts like he doesn't even know the ball is coming. Those type of things. That stuff is just, it needs to be out of the game because you can't take advantage of matchups or a quick pass. We see it in the NFL all the time. Case in point, for you guys who happen to watch the Steelers versus the Patriots, first drive is 3rd and 3. We go 5 wide. We got Eli Rogers inside. Eli runs a real quick stick route. Boom. Ben throws a quick pass. Coverage is there, but he throws it fast enough in the right spot. Receiver catches it. Can't do that in Madden. You can't do that. Because if you do that and they hit the button, they're going to warp in front of you, or they're going to warp into a swat. Then this is the stuff I'm talking about. I'm going to show you guys this video, man. Y'all get a chance. Y'all take a look at it. I'll post it here in the comments. It's just ridiculous, man. And it's, again, let me get back to that original point, then I throw it to Smitty. I just feel like I'm at a point where it's almost pointless to keep showing the same feedback. I would love to give feedback every day if I could, but my feedback points are the same. Y'all know what I need you to fix. And when I say y'all, it ain't just the devs. I'm talking about the culture in that building, the decision makers. And this is why I continue to say Madden 20 is really going to be a defining moment for me. That's going to let me know the direction of this company in terms of Tiburon. Because everybody knows what needs to be done. The devs know what they want to do. The devs know where they want to take it. Smitty is going to allude to some things a little later in the show or whenever he's ready to talk about it, showing you how its capability here in the game that people that don't even work there are doing. Until the culture changes, I'm telling y'all, man, I can't really be that invested much more unless I really see a shift. If Madden 20 is the same song and dance, hey, it is what it is after that point. You know, it's tiresome. It's very tiresome to continue to go through this. But those are my thoughts, Smitty. I just feel like, you know, to set the stage of the conversation tonight, I almost feel like our feedback is pointless, man. It's almost the same thing, Smitty, that we've said about the Deuce Douglas post. When I start seeing y'all take stuff off of that list, okay, then we can talk. But until then, the blueprint is there. Don't ask me. You don't need to ask me nothing about what franchise need. It's right there. You have a full document and start taking from that list. And until you do it, don't ask me nothing. That's just how I feel, man.
Yeah.
Well, what you got, man?
We literally, excuse me. No, I mean, we literally said it. We literally said directly to John, like, it said it direct. All y'all need to do is post this up. Year 1, we did this. Year 2, we did this. Year 3, we got that. That's literally all them cats need to do. Because what Deuce laid out, that's it. That's it. I mean, I see people overwhelmingly were positive in regards to that game, and it's like, I mean, excuse me, in regards to that post or that mock-up he did, and even previous mock-ups. So it's like, if you're in so much agreement with it, why not do it? I mean, I just don't understand what. Well, excuse me, I do understand, and that's the part that makes it even more frustrating. But the thing is, and I know C got playing NCAA 14. See, the thing is, I can't mess with NCAA 14 like that because of the fidelity of the game. And it's not that the game is bad. Okay, let me make that clear. NCAA 14 is a great game. It was a great game. I loved Dynasty mode all day. Okay, and see that once again goes back to the point about what Deuce Douglas got. If people marveling over what NCAA 14 has, then what Deuce Douglas put out there is 100%. That's 100 times better. You know what I'm saying? And that would be perfect if they were to just take that and implement it, literally. But let me tell y'all something. Let me pull something up here for you guys. See, look, we know that there are issues on the console, but let me. I'm gonna read off. I'm gonna read off some stuff. Okay, that was done on a a mod that was done, and this is for PC. So this is for Madden 19 on the PC. Now this is shout out to what's my man's name? He did this Nectar mod. Will Chills. This is on Operation Sports. Y'all could check it out if y'all want to. Now, look, I'm gonna show you some of the things that he has adjusted off of just using the mod programs that they're using. Okay? All right. Now, locomotion is transparent. Improved movement. They improve the movement as far as the general player locomotion. Real time tackle battle overhaul. No icons shown to input breakdown, but impacted in real time. Pass precision. Tilting the joystick 50% is a perfect lead. Tilting 100% is an 8-step lead. This allows slants to the sideline to be thrown in the backfield, or I guess he meant 180 degree slants forward, wide receiver screens, grass grazing downward throws, even on medium passes. This allows less picks to happen. Slot receiver verticals can be led to the sideline. Wild touch throws can be made. Sideline, pylon throws, etc. Double move routes rework to accommodate pass leads. This is from somebody at home. And actually, somebody at home did this. And they got the PC version of this game doing this. Look at this. Acceleration and agility. No diminishing return on run cuts. Boosted forward movement effect removed. This allows for much more precise movement. Momentum. Reworked to allow more magnitude. Tackle pushes can be prevented based on reaction skill. No canned 1-yard gains. On big hits, medium and deep pass hits are prevalent. Breakaway run big hits are prevalent. Sideline big hits. Deep route pass leads allow more safety interaction. Coverage. Jump ball coverage and aggression improved. Interceptions reworked. Just for CPU in general. CPU playstyle and reaction on the ground is tighter and improved. Spec catch is more likely to attempt a high catch before the spectacular catch. How come this is able to be done offline? And I'm gonna stop it there. There's much more. You can look at it, go look at it yourself. But why are these guys able to do it on PC like this? You telling me a guy at home on their PC can make this thing happen like this, but the devs can't do it in the studio? You see what I'm saying? And this is the thing. This is not. Oh, I'm blasting at Clint and all that stuff. No, 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 no. This got nothing to do with going at devs. This is nothing to do with devs. This is what devs are allowed to actually do versus what they're told not to do. See what I'm saying? And this tells you. This is telling you right here. Let me find something else because there was something real interesting. Look at this. CPU medium passing improved. Remove maximum number of broken tackles, which was limited at 4. They removed that. Let's see. Trajectories. More disparity between low and high throw power. Improved lobs and touch passes. Change of direction in terms of player movement is improved. Let's see here. Let me see. There were certain things here. Hold on. There was a particular something that they had as far as player weight is concerned. That I wanted that they said. Basically, I had read this the other day. But basically, he went ahead. He adjusted how the impact of player weight is in the game when it comes to winning and losing interactions. See, the game by default only makes it count to a certain percent. This guy has it modded to make it count all the way. Once again, somebody at home does a mod, and they're able to get this done. All of this done. Look at this. This is another mod here they did. Bullet passes adjustment. Quicker release, slightly less accuracy on it. High passes. Thrown with almost no arc and slower normally and as a bullet. Touch pass. Now thrown faster with high arc and low momentum at a downward spiral. That's interesting.
High arc.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Trajectories. Oh, yeah. God, man.
So when you see this kind of stuff being put into the game right here, and not put into the game, excuse me, adjusted inside of the game, this is not on Clint and those engineers and all of these people. It's not their fault. And this is on Operation Sports, VF. So just go to Operation Sports, go to the forums.
Yeah,
I don't know if it'll let me put the link in there, but
yeah, I'm gonna see if it let me do it.
Here, matter of fact, here, Sim. Here, I'm gonna share it with you on Skype, and then you put it in because it'll let you do it.
Oh yeah.
But here we go. All right, there's the page right there. But if somebody at home is able to do this, and you got people in the community that are literally doing this, this lets me know. And I mean, even in the thread, you see some people, you see the dude even questioning, like, I don't understand what are those devs doing at EA? Like, no disrespect, but what's really going on in there? That I'm able to sit at home and I'm able to do this. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
it's like if it's able to be done, that means that somebody. How many times have we've all said that there's somebody telling people they're being told what they can and cannot do. You see what I'm saying? They're only able to go but so far. So somebody is telling them, you can't do this. You gotta roll this back. You can only allow this. You can only allow back. And guess what they gotta do? They gotta follow suit. Or else they gotta walk up out the building. They're not just gonna be like, no, we're not gonna do it. They have to. They have to do it. And see, this is the kind of stuff that I look at and say, remember a few years ago when Rex and them talked about we mocapped over 400 catch animations? Where they at?
Where they at, though?
Where are those things at? Remember Clint said over 300 plus trench animations. Where they at?
I see 3.
That's like, like,
Oh,
like for real. And see, this is what I'm saying. If somebody at home is able to do this.
oh man, really quick, Smitty. I want to chime in on what Kia just said because I was about to go there. Then I'm gonna throw it back to Smitty.
Yep.
Kia says, "Oh, the T I could spill." Y'all have no idea, man. Listen, one of these days, I'm hoping. Let me say this just to tick people off a little bit. I hope one day I'm able to share some information. And all I will tell you guys is trust and believe. When you hear us say this, or if you, and now since, you know, and see, I'm the type of person, listen, I follow street code. And let me just give y'all a quick lesson. I knew a lot of stuff that, and I know Kia has conversation, but I never was going to tell y'all that until he says he knows. So now that he says that, now I will include him. But there's other people that I know have great information that's not in the program. There's devs that I talk to. But again, you know, I live by a certain code, and I'm never going to say stuff that I'm not supposed to. You know what I mean? But Kia knows the deal. I'm pretty sure he does. And trust me, you guys have no idea. If some of the stuff that, if I could say some of the things that I've been told, wow. Wow. So all I'm going to say to you is when you hear Smitty and I say it is the suits, trust and believe that we're telling you the truth. I don't care who else you listen to, and I'm not trying to, you know, proclaim that we are the best at none of that. But I can tell you for a fact that when we tell you what the problem really is, take that as the gospel. Because we're telling you as much as we can without going too far.
And the thing is, just looking at this mod alone and all these details and everything like that, you can tell there's something not right in the building. Oh. You don't make all the positive revenue and all these positive returns on investment, and then your game comes out like this. Like, it starts off decently and then it just falls flat. That it's not because these guys don't know. It's not that the devs are incompetent or they don't know what to do and they don't know what to. No. They know what to do. Trust and believe. They know what to do. But they have to be empowered and they have to be invested in to honestly do what they truly need to do. I need you. Oh, what do you need, sweetie? I need you. Here, go ahead, Sim. I'll be right back.
That's so cute. She said, "I need you." But yeah, man. It's frustrating, guys, and I remember you guys asked us before. Y'all asked this question. A few of y'all did. And I want to shout out you guys who asked that question. And we used to always say, and I still feel like this to a degree, I used to always say, it doesn't cost me nothing to give feedback. You know, I'll do it until I get tired of doing it, or until I tell that the direction isn't going in the way that we were once, it seems that we were contributing to. What I'm telling you right now is it's Madden 20 is going to become that game because I need to see how the culture is in that building from up top. I'm not talking about those that I have a great relationship with, devs that I talk to offline all the time. And I'll never out those guys either, just in case people are trying to figure out who's saying it. I will never say, you know, and give you guys specifics as to who I speak to regularly. But it's going to tell me a lot, man, because, again, Rex is not dead. Rex has nothing to do with Madden 20. Unless there's things, you know, remembrance from things that he wanted that they would continue to do. Outside of that, Rex has nothing to do with Madden 20. Carlos has nothing to do with Madden 20. He wasn't there long enough to drink a cup of coffee. I don't even know who the next guy is. What I do know, though, is there's a ex-senior executive. I won't say suit, but I'm kind of a higher up. There's a guy who's now back on Madden that wasn't there last year. That's interesting. That is very interesting, and I want to see where that goes because I've been hearing some information as to why that is. Guys, I always try to give y'all as much as I can, man, but I gotta hold back right now. But
all right,
it's tough. I can't go there. Let's just say this. I've heard that there's been some changes. So, what I'm waiting to see is, based off of these changes that I've heard about, how that's going to affect the product. And I'll leave it at that. I'm hoping it goes the way it's supposed to go. And when it does, come April, May, whatever time they start telling y'all what's what, then I'll come back and say, that's what I was waiting on right there. The culture. I promise y'all, if I see the culture shift the way that I've been told that there may be some changes, I am definitely going to come back and tell y'all that. But I got to see it. I need to see what it is that I'm hearing. Because, again, it's December. I haven't been down there. I haven't, it's different when you hear little things. But no, for sure when you go there. You know exactly what's going on when you go there because, the vibe is there. And you get the presentation of knowing this is where we're going. This is the direction, da-da-da-da-da. Right now it's just talk. Because remember, you're talking to veterans here where there were things that, all the way through one cycle in February, this is a go. I go back in like April or May, it was gone. So we're no longer rookies in this where we just believe everything that we are hearing. Because again, just to give y'all another quick lesson, the developers develop. I'll even go as far as saying this. There's even ideas, guys, that there's definitely CFM stuff that's on the table. There's a lot of franchise, they call it now. There's a lot of stuff that's on the table that I know that guys there already basically had ready to go. Didn't make it. So my point is, we're beyond the point where we're just, we're the game changers. They tell us something and it's going to come and we're going to be happy. But no. We know the process now. I'm not locked in on nothing until like EA Play. Because that right there, that what you see at EA Play is typically what's going to make it. Like, it's locked and loaded at that point.
Well,
in some cases, yeah. As far as, I guess what I'm saying is feature-wise, but tuning might be up until the day of,
Right. Because look, Madden 18 and 17 and 18. Because from the beta to the game launching and when the game got patched, and just like what my man, what's his name, Sidman Azebo is up here saying, sack fumbles gone, challenging field goals gone, all these different things. What was it? Players getting stripped and everything, all that. Remember, Sim, you told me about the ducks that people were throwing and getting hit and all that. Gone, everything gone. So it's like all these things go away. It's just like looking at Live 19 right now. No technicals. EA Play, technicals was happening. You know what I mean? Like, dudes got tech. The AI was playing sharper there. I'm telling you.
It's crazy,
these
man.
Games are being touched. So this is why I can't say a dev don't know what to do. Some people still want to look at devs. I can't say that because the devs were responsible for the state it was in.
They know what they're doing.
It's not devs. I'm not going to blame them because they made it. It was on the right track. Somebody told them to change it. Somebody told them to do something different at the last second, and they people like this. Nah, you know what? You can have an exec come down, play the game, and be like, I think you guys should do this, that, and the third. Nah, you know what? You guys are gonna put it like this. What are they gonna tell them? They have their bills to pay, so it's like they're not just gonna be like, man, you ought to let me do it my way or I'm out. No, they're like, all right, well, there's a door. So it's like they got to go along for the ride. And of course they can't jump on social media and blast. They can't just be like, they have to an extent. It's like they have to stand up for work they didn't necessarily want to put out, but they have no choice but to stand up for it. You know what I'm saying? And just take it. So
it's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what's funny, Smitty? Even if people, let's say if people didn't really pay attention to what Rex said, right?
Right.
We can go back further than that. Do y'all remember when Ian Cummins did that? It was an interview or something like a little while after he had left. And the main thing I took from what he said was, because people were saying, so do they need a new engine? Blah, 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 blah. And he was like, no, it's just old code. That stuck with me, right? Because this was before we were going down there. So then once we started being on board, I said, it's the same theme. I keep hearing this theme. Rex said it publicly. There's a lot of old code stuff we got to rip out. Da, 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 da. Now, here's how we bring it home for you guys that don't understand. That takes time. That takes time, resources, engineers, developers, software technicians, etc., etc., etc. That could take a lot of time. You can't sell that. Now, me and Smitty think you could, but those who sit in the position of being in marketing and making the dollar, and when the investors, what are you guys doing this year for us to sell Madden? They don't understand this. This is what Rex told us. Remember? He said, often I'm dealing with people that don't even understand why something is important to football. The development team can't sell, let's fix bugs. They tried. Remember they said, we took a lot of time to fix legacy problems, and they couldn't get to all of them. But here's the problem. Here's the thing about marketing. Marketing was cool with that. So you hear Rex and all of them saying, we fixed all these legacy problems and bugs, but they couldn't get to it. So then after the game comes out, now you had bugs that year that they had said was fixed. Then they're trying to catch up with patches. That's it, man. It's the code base. It's the code base, because it ain't just the engine itself. Because again, Frostbite. Have y'all played Battlefield 5? That's an engine. That's a piece of technology. You know who else uses it? FIFA. But the core engine or coding that FIFA uses is more advanced than what we're seeing in Madden. That's what it is. They have to rewrite these things. So it's one of them situations, man. Well, I know we said, like I said, it sounds like a broken record, and that's even the reason why me posting videos with feedback has become a little pointless. It's the same feedback over and over. They have to address those things. Once they rewrite the code to make these things behave the correct way, now we talking. Then we can start piling on. But like Smitty is saying, if the dude can do it with the mod, and shout outs to Solid Gamer VF, when you get a chance, man, if you check out the mod, definitely give us some feedback on what you think, because I haven't had a chance. I don't have Madden on PC yet. I'll probably get it, definitely if people like yourself and Smitty are telling me, I'll check it out. So please let us know how you feel about it once you get a chance to play it. I do have a piece, gaming PC now, so I could easily get it and rock out. But yeah, and it's just like Solid Gamer just said, man. To me, simulation sells, and that's the part that I don't understand. How does the Tiburon people not see that? I mean, success is all around them. They look up at Canada, they see what's happening. You look at 2K, you look at MLB. I mean, all of these other games that, and no, they're not perfect, but all of these other games, one thing you can say about them is they go for authenticity. But yes, 2K has some cheese, we know, but the groundwork of that game is built on they're trying to produce an authentic basketball game, and that's why it is what it is.
You know something though, Sim. What needs to happen is EA needs to treat Madden like how FIFA gets treated. FIFA got 2-3 studios working on it every year. Madden is only Tiburon. NBA 2K Sports is literally NBA 2K. So it's like, whatever, how big that division is, they're not split working on 2 or 3 sports titles a year. It's literally just, all right, everybody, let's bang out this project. And that's literally it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, the same thing needs to happen with Madden. Like, there needs to be a second studio. Like I don't know what's going to come of it, but you got NBA Live, Live 20 is going to have 2 studios working on it. So, I mean, we have to see how that game's going to unfold come launch. But the point is that Madden needs to have 2 studios instead of just having 1. And on top of that, this is the other part. They need to have continuous development for the entire game. Not just MUT. It needs to be for the entire game. They keep adding all these different additional modes and functionalities on that side of the game, but franchise, and that's the thing, for guys like myself, Sim, and others, we don't have a ton to talk about because gameplay gets watered down. So that's where our frustrations lie at with that. And then franchise mode barely has anything in it. Like, it barely moves the needle. So when it barely moves, that's why we're going to still be in that same spot. So they got to do better. They got to do better, or they have to make some they got to make some adjustments. Because the code base argument the code base point is an old point. Code base ain't cutting it. You know what I'm saying? Hire the people. You make too much. We've said this 10 billion times over. They make too much money to act like they're a mom and pop shop trying to make a AAA football title. No. They make more than enough money to hire whomever it is they need to hire to fix what needs to be fixed. They can expand if they wanted to. They could expand that Tiburon studio and add even more talent. And let them go ahead and do what they need to do to get Madden tight. That's literally it. I mean, stop. It's crazy when you have a game where you got tournament, and I mean, just saying on the tournament side of it, it's crazy to see tournament gamers that are genuinely upset with Madden. Like, these are the same dudes that be sitting up there on that stage potentially hoisting that title belt, and they're like, man, this game frustrates me.
Yeah.
Ooh, I feel like playing. Can I get in Fortnite? Can I get in NBA 2K? Can I get in? Like, these are people that are signed, like, they're signed gamers with companies representation and everything for the sake of Madden. And this is how they talking. And then you see these dudes on Twitch streaming, playing for cash money prizes and stuff. Like, this is your audience. And I mean, people up here saying, now, I mean, I don't know if any of that stuff is true, but you see people talking about they're paying people to sit in the stands when they're doing these live streams and stuff. I don't know if there's any truth to that or not.
Oh man,
but I mean, you got people saying stuff like that, and I mean, if that's true, that people not trying to see, they really don't want to see the game. That's alarming right there. Like, that's why you got to make your game tight. That's why you got to quit launching it with, oh man, we put these RPM and we did this and we did that. And then a few weeks later, or over the span of 2 months, you nerf it all the way out. Now, the RPM tech doesn't really even matter that much in the game anymore, as much as it mattered at launch. Now, like what Sim shown in his video, DBs got eyes in the back of their head now. So we got the psychic defenders and we got the super linebackers back. It's like, what's going on here? all the stuff that we hated about the game, and it's like it's in there. And then you even got people commentating like Kia talked about the other day. You got commentators talking about glitches like that's what's up. Like it's hot to talk about glitches as if that's part of the game. Like that's legitimately part of turning play. You know, if League of Legends, as big as that game is on esports, Street Fighter and all these other fighting games, Rainbow Six and Call of Duty, if those games were on that grand of a stage, I mean, they're on those big stages, excuse me. If they had glitches and bugs in their game on purpose and they're commentating like that's part of the game, dude, those games wouldn't be there. That's why certain fighting games don't last on that stage long, because it's like, no, this is a problem. This is an exploit. You guys are, oh, it's not fixed? Sorry. On to the next one. They're not going to let it stay there because there is no meta. Like you see people use certain characters, but then you see people use a variety of characters. There's no meta. It would be a very boring fighting tournament to see Ryu and Chun-Li as the only two characters everybody uses, because that's the quote-unquote meta, and they're all trying to spam the same kind of moves pretty much. That'd be the most boring tournament ever. That's what Madden tournaments are. We play according to the meta, and that's it. And I mean, I can't blame the players for playing that way because you're trying to win.
Right.
If running these plays are going to get me in the best position to bring home the cash money, I'm going to do it. So I can't get mad at those guys for doing what they're doing. They're only going according to what the game is giving them, and it's like Madden. It's as if it's okay. I will patch it along the way. It's all right. If it costs you money, sorry, but the next leg of the tournament will have it better. No, like that's crazy. That stuff has to be fixed. Like it has to be a legitimate representation of the sport on said field respectively. I'm sorry, like it just has to be. You can't act like Madden and all these games are going to be treated the exact same way as a League of Legends or a Street Fighter or anything like that. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. It's not going to be acceptable. If you see somebody like what my man VF is saying, if you see shooters and they got glitchy movements and people are stuttering across the screen and all that stuff, no, that game will get hammered for that showing up on that stage like that. Like, how dare you come to this stage with this game and you got all this money on the line and you got people putting in all this time on these games and, oh, well, that's the meta. No, there is no. Only with these sports games there's a quote-unquote meta, and it's being played as if it's acceptable. It shouldn't be accepted, but people are accepting it. And they're saying it's okay. Like I use, and we could go to the next topic or what have you after this, at this point I want to make. You could take, Eric Rayweather is a perfect example. The videos that he puts out. He'll put out videos where he's literally showing you how to cheat the game. And I mean, that's his niche. Tips, tricks, tactics. That's his niche. So this isn't digging in on him or nothing like that.
No.
This is just the point. He's getting his money, he's getting his name, all that stuff. Do what you do. But the problem is EA is allowing that to be the stat quo. So it's like, if EA made this game on the lines of football and about matchups, exploitations were about matchups and not bugs and glitches or not finding a money play, or you can find a good situational play that you could use, that would make all the difference in the world versus what we have right now. You see what I'm saying? That's why I would love to see a channel like his evolve to be about straight up football instead of just football as far as naming plays in terms that are used in game, and it's legitimate football tips, tactics, things like that to use in game. in terms of excelling and becoming a better Madden player. That's what it should be about. If I play Street Fighter, if it's a Tekken tournament, Street Fighter tournament, Soul Calibur tournament, whatever, I have to learn to be a better Soul Calibur player. I just can't be a general fighting game player and say, hey, do these tips, use these tactics, and you could potentially be on that stage. It's like, no, you got to learn this character, learn these characters, learn these moves, understand, there's so many other variables and facets to it because everybody is working from a ridiculously sized toolbox. Madden, you can literally show up with a standard hammer and a box of nails and you're pretty much good to go. And that's the problem. It's just way too simplistic. And it should be way deeper than that, especially as intricate of a sport as football is. It should be way more to it than that. And I know guys don't like, and I talked about this with Sim offline, but I know people don't like injuries and they don't like seeing penalties in the game. Loosen the game up like FIFA. Put the penalties in the game. Folk want to complain about injuries and fatigue. Take what was done in NFL Head Coach 09, player diagram like we see it's in NBA 2K now. Take that player diagram, bodily wear and tear. You put a player out there that's got severe damage somewhere, you run the risk of him getting hurt. You should have made that substitution instead of risking it all and putting it on the line and saying, oh, my player came up gimpy. Sorry. Yo bad. You should have made the decision. Now you put it on the user, and because you see the outcome in the game, they're like, well, your player had a real bad hamstring. His leg was extremely red, and you chose to keep running those routes with him anyway, and then he came up gimpy when you threw that pass. No, that's the game's fault. No, it's your fault because you should have subbed out that receiver and used somebody that was completely healthy, and you didn't want to run that risk. You chose not to do that. So it's on you. We gave you the tools. We gave you the tool shed. You decided to use your hammer and nail technique, and now you came up short. Instead of using them power tools, you wanted to use their conventional hammer and nail and handsaw and all that. Go ahead and do that. That's what I'm saying. You telling me EA can't do that? And the other thing is, you think a dev in the studio ain't ever thought of something like that or something even more creative than that? Me and Sim had talks with Kobe back then when he was in there. And he told us some stuff that would come on. This game would be ridiculously on another level. And that's what I'm saying. EA has to let it happen. They got to say, do that. Make that happen. Do this stuff. Change the course of the game. This game can go completely a different direction and potentially obliterate other sports titles in terms of authentic facets of gameplay. But it'll always be the same spot, same excuses. Oh, it's old code. It's old this. It's old that. It doesn't matter. And see, to even Prime's point, you're saying they're not ready for that. How many casuals were ready for Fortnite? A game where it's extremely hard to win one game. And yet, look how that game's thriving. It ain't got nothing to do with people being ready for it. You just got to give the experience. You have to make the experience. People are fine with getting a rewarding win. That's what Fortnite clearly showcases. They're okay with losing and figuring out to win successfully. I got 10 kills and I won. Yes, like they will celebrate that to the highest. But in when it comes to games, like when it comes to some of these sports games, it's like we act like people's minds aren't capable of handling losing or handling fumbling the ball or anything that has to do with losing. People don't want to handle. People never want to face adversity. They just want to be able to win all the time, and that's it. And then when they don't win, it's controversy. Somebody's field goal got blocked in the tournament. Oh, it's controversy. That was in there all that time. If I was playing tournament Madden And I literally said, I'm gonna sit here and learn how to I'm gonna time how to block field goals perfectly all the time. That's all I'm gonna do. As soon as that thing snaps, I got it. If I go ahead and I learn how to do that, and I get in these tournaments and I'm blocking everybody's field goal all the time,
Yeah.
people will call it controversy. No, it isn't. I just learned. I did the same thing these dudes do with the meta. It's no different. All I did was spend the time, honed in on something, and now I'm using it on the grand stage. And you can be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he did that. Oh, he's cheesing. No, I'm not. I'm just doing the same thing these guys are doing. Y'all just don't like what y'all see on screen. That's all. So change it. If you don't like what I'm doing on screen, change it up. Otherwise, I'm gonna do this all day. I'm gonna do the best I can to stop you. And then you get in them situations. I don't care what you do. You can hold the kick all you want. I know exactly how to stop you. That's it. So change the game, make it dynamic, change the paradigm. Like what Sim said earlier, if the culture changes and we see the cultural change by way the product is and post-launch, well after the fact, that's going to let it be known, oh, I see what these guys are doing. Oh, okay. Yeah, see, now we cooking with gas. Now we doing something. So, go ahead, Sim. Sorry to be long-winded, man.
Nah, man. Hey, keep it rolling. I mean, shoot, really all we really got is one more topic, and we'll see how long it carries us.
Right.
You know, the question that I asked and to Smitty, I'll give my answer first, and I'll throw it to you guys in the chat. You know, I want to know, have we reached, you know, an all-time low in terms of video football gaming or football video gaming, whatever you want to call it? And one thing before I dive into that, just looking at the chat, commenting on what Kia said is, you know, he ran for nearly 200 yards just with zone read because the guy kept spamming nickel blitz. And it's funny, man, and this happened to me in week 2 of this last season in our sim league. Now I ran the ball with Le'Veon Bell, had 3 touchdowns and over 150 yards. And the reason why, for whatever reason, this dude kept coming out in the same coverage. It must have been dime or dollar, whichever one. Y'all know how they replicate it. Is if you in a power set or whatever, and all of the, you know, the defensive linemen just get pancaked, and the dude would not come out of that coverage. So everything I kept running was inside, and most of the plays, 2 or 3 of his linemen were getting pancaked. But the reason why I want to bring that up, just to chime in on what Smitty said, I don't even like that. That to me is a Band-Aid. That is not the way to replicate that situation. Can we see a struggle in the trenches? Because as much as I agree, if somebody comes out in dollar or, you know, with 7 DBs on the field, yeah. If I got a fullback, you know, we should be able to kill that. If I got a Rosie Nix type of guy and we in the eye, we should be able to kill that. But, comma, but, a dude like Aaron Donald might be a beast enough to beat his guy and still make the tackle. And that's what I'm saying. I hate that Band-Aid effect, even though, great, you're rewarding us for having some football knowledge and saying, I'm going to come out in a power set or jumbo or whatever against that formation. But I just hate the way they replicate it. And that's what we're saying. The authenticity level is just not there when it comes to Madden and just in Tiburon, and just in my opinion. But have we reached the all-time low? I would have to say yes. And the reason why, and this will lead us into actually what is our one of our last topics, is this, but along with, you know, I'm sure Smitty is going to talk about the All-Pro Football editor that's out there. That's the reason why I feel like it's at an all-time low. Is because we are still depending on games like All-Pro Football and people getting excited about editors being made for that game. And that's not to disrespect All-Pro Football 2K8. It ain't to disrespect those who still play it. It ain't to disrespect, you know, the guys who are creating the editors. It's the disrespect to me should be at Madden. Why is it that we are still searching for another game years ago and we're trying to make these games good enough to play? Why are we still, you know, again, and VF talked about it here in the chat. Why are people clamoring and still playing one of your older games in an NCAA 14? Better yet, why are people still going back and playing one of your old Madden games? And Madden 2018 on the surface is not better than an older product with the way the game, you know, played cohesively. Now, of course, there's some features, of course, that we never saw in those older games, but we're just talking about the feel of the game and features like franchise. And I feel like we're at an all-time low, man, because we've gone from having confidence that Madden will change to putting our time into products that are really, I mean, they're inferior, man, to 2018 games. Not just Madden, just games. No disrespect to none of the indie companies, but come on, man. It's just like Smitty said, just because of the resolution rate. I mean, it's sad that we're telling ourselves, man, I can't play that because it don't look good. But that's the truth. I'm still out here playing Red Dead 2, which has become probably one of my favorite games of all time. It used to be the first Red Dead, but I'm only not even halfway through. I'm probably about a third of the way through it. I'm like, man, this game goes down as one of my favorites of all time already. So as much as I like football, I can't be looking at these 16-bit games, and I know I'm exaggerating, but y'all, you know what I'm saying? It's like, that's why I think we're at an all-time low. No competition, and the only competition we have is either a past product in their own wheelhouse or a past product that was direct competition like 2K, or an indie game that's worse than any past Madden or past 2K, only because, I mean, you got to give the indie people time. That's what we're dealing with here in 2018, where the only reason why I really play Madden right now is because of camaraderie. We have a good time in the Sim Standard Radio League. Most of us still get pissed over the game, but you know, it's 32 guys yucking it up. You know, we can make the experience fun enough, even though we still get ticked off. As you guys saw, I posted a video yesterday showing you what happens when guys are usering. All-time low, in my opinion, Smitty. We in it right now. And we don't even have the confidence to think that 20 is going to be this game that's going to blow us away. Think about that. We don't have confidence that a game titled Madden 2020 is not going to be a game that we are to get excited about. People, that is a serious problem. I'm going to say it again. We are not confident that a game with the title 2020, we're not confident that this game is going to blow us away. Or that we're going to get the basic elements that we've been clamoring for years upon years upon years. That is a real shame, man. That is a real shame. Yeah, and see, shout outs to Silent Gamer. I know that don't apply to you, my brother, because you are the king of going back. Not only just playing retro games. My man VF got retro consoles. I mean, Sega Saturns and stuff like that. So he's an exception. You know, he enjoys the nostalgia and playing the retro games. I get it. But I'm just saying, you know, from a general standpoint, like a guy like me, it's hard for me to... Here's it in a nutshell, especially with football. As much as I love 2K5, and as much as I love Madden 05, it's still elements in Madden 20, you know, Madden 19 right now that it wasn't in those games. And that's awkward. It's certain things still in Madden that, ooh, I do appreciate that. That wasn't in the old game, so it's a catch-22 either way I look at it. Even though I think overall, as a product, those games presented a better package. 2K5 presented a better package than Madden 19. And Madden 05 with the Tony Bruno show and all of that. total package, it presented a better overall package. But I would still say, and I've said this before, even with the shortcomings, I still think the gameplay as a whole in Madden 19 is better than those games as a whole. Now, there's elements, of course. I think the passing still was superb and is superior in 2K8. In my opinion, I think 2K8 probably has some of the best ball trajectory with the maximum passing. It was easy to use. It was intuitive. You didn't have to do the point and click, like FIFA had, or like, they tried to do with target passing. It was all left analog. Beautiful. The ball trajectories, the QB rollouts and animations, those little things like that. But I think still you have to give the physics takes the game to another level. Even the DB and wideout interactions, yeah, they're canned for the most part, but we didn't see that in those games. So we have to be fair when we look at it like that. But it's crazy, man. It's really crazy. And shout outs to my man 2K Football Now, man. He does a phenomenal job. If you're not following him on Twitter, he takes you down memory lane, just showing so many great clips and footage. It reminds me, man, of when I first started. And for some of you guys that obviously didn't know me back then, go back several years. Like, go back to 2010, 2011, and look at all of those videos that I put out. I mean, at one time, I don't think there was anybody putting out more 2K8 videos than me, All Pro. I mean, I remember AzureEffect even saying I was the reason why he got into All Pro. I made him actually go buy it just from watching my videos, and that was before we knew each other. He was like, yo, what is this game, and who is this showing these great football plays? So trust me, 2K, now, I know. I'm right there with you, man. But, me, unfortunately, I don't even have a 360 anymore. I can't play the game anymore. I donated my 360 a while back, to the less fortunate. So I don't even have, I got 2 copies of All Pro, like, sitting right down here in the man cave, and I only had nothing to play them on. But, yeah, it's just sad. It's sad, again, that we are in that type of position. You know what I mean? And, yeah, I don't really have much more to say about it. I rambled on a little bit, I was giving Smitty some time. Smitty had to step away for a moment. He's back now. So, I'll throw it to him in regards to, what do you think, Smitty, man? Are we at an all-time low with video football gaming right now?
With football gaming, yes. No question.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the thing is that, like what you were saying before, I mean, you got editors out here and everything, and shout out to King Hobble. I'll give it, its proper due in a moment here. I don't want that to be a catalyst, but it is part of it. It's part of this. Because 2K made a game that captured our attention, and it was a legitimate competitor against Madden. So the problem is with Madden is that Madden has yet to surpass it in its totality, and it has not surpassed it. EA marketed double team pass blocking. 2K just had it in their game. It was just there. It's a matter of fact, EA didn't get it. EA didn't get double team pass blocking in their game until 2013. 2K had it in their game in 2004. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I can't say that, and this is the other thing too. This is something that me and Sim, like when we went to the studio in the past, and we heard Rex talk about facets of the game where he says he wants to be best in class. You guys heard when we did a live interview with him before, and he said he wants poetry in motion. You know what I'm saying? And everything else. Doesn't want the warps, doesn't want the pops, doesn't want the shifts, doesn't want all. So he's saying it, and he wanted it to be done. Now the thing is that, you know, when you look at the kind of games that were out here previously, you have NFL, you have, excuse me, not NFL, but you got APF 2K8 that respects spacing better than Madden does today. Like, I mean, they have a lot of, I mean, yeah, they have two-man animations, and obviously it's limited because of the 07 product. But at the same time, you're not forced into two-man animations. You know what I'm saying? You can do your dives, you can do your reach tackles, you can do all kinds of stuff, and it's very much a one-to-one event that they have. Running game, passing game, catching passes, deflecting passes. I mean, we all know that they have best of both worlds tackling in there, where a guy can knock the ball out, you know, pass defend the ball legitimately in midair and then turn around and lay a big hit. Like, it does happen in there. But the bottom line is that look at what 2K is able to do, and look what they're giving that still is withstanding the test of time. It's not that 2K was ahead of its time. It's that EA isn't making the move.
Right.
That's it. It's not, oh man, whoo, boy, we don't know what we had. No. EA was making a good, like, they had a good franchise going on.
Madden should be blowing the doors off it. Like, right now, we should be saying Madden is the best football. Madden 19 is the best game we ever seen. That's what we should be saying.
Yep.
I mean, it's sad, man.
Yeah. It definitely is. So that's what I'm saying. Like, and I mean, what he said exactly. Remember Madden 06 with the QB vision? Look at that video alone. You look at that video alone. What Sim's video that he's shown, and many other people that have posted videos showing super linebackers and all that stuff. They literally in that spotlight video showcase them throwing that ball with the kind of loft that we're talking about. That mid-level bullet with the loft that goes over the linebacker, and it could be, and it'll go just to a spot where the receiver can get it and not the DB. Not straight to the DB. Sim's video, that's another thing too. Along with the warping and motion shifting to make plays, they keep throwing it straight to the number. They throw it right to where receiver is going to be, not to a spot where he can lead it to. Sim could have pressed the analog stick hard to the left, hard to the right.
And I did.
It don't matter.
That's the funny thing. I pressed it to the right because, and see, some people, and it's never for me to debate people what I did in the game, you know, because it's always a handful of people, oh, that was a bad read, but then there's a lot of people saying, no, he made the right read. The reason why I threw it on that first clip is because that was his user. And I like playing that game against a user because a lot of times if you throw the ball at the right time, you should be able to abuse the user because the user is trying to make a decision. He clearly, you can see his legs are towards my inside tight end. So I'm trying to zip it behind him. It's a hot read because the blitz was coming. However, I will acknowledge I probably should have threw it to the blitz side because Juju was open. But I was looking to my right because that's where the user is at, just like a real quarterback. I ain't looking at the whole field, right? Yeah. So I tried to zip it behind him, and I pushed right on the analog stick, and you saw what happens. Especially here's when it's worse too, Smitty. Oh, especially when you playing with a backup quarterback or a quarterback that ain't got the ratings. Yeah, I mean that ball. Good luck trying to throw a high point pass.
So saying like, and see the thing is, if it's NFL 2K5, especially APF, and you press it hard to the right, he'll try and do an animation where he'll turn around and he'll try to reach back for it. and try and reel it in with one hand, or maybe he'll turn around and try and reach with both hands and try and secure it. You know what I'm saying? And then try to turn around and cut it upfield. Like, but you'll also throw that pass out there where it's like he has to reach out for it. It's not gonna throw it. He's not gonna throw it straight at his chest to the numbers. You see what I'm saying? That's what is in APF. This is why people are playing. People, when a company gives you reason to use another product, that's why people use that product. You see what I'm saying? People aren't playing 2K just because of the mere fact that it's 2K. It's because of the experience the game gave that we still aren't getting in Madden to this day. You think guys like Havo and all them don't play Madden or whatever, or don't play the most recent Maddens and everything? They play them, and they're like, nah, man, this ain't cutting it. That's why I ain't messing with it. I'm going to go ahead and play this instead. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I can't wait to mess with this mod on the PC with this Madden, because it's like you got to use sliders to get decent ball placement. That's the crazy thing about it. You can't control it regardless of the sliders, though. You know, VF, and that's the crazy part. You ultimately can't control it. And we should have control. We should have target passing like how it was last year. It shouldn't be some throw-in feature. It shouldn't be treated as that. That should be a priority facet of the game. And it should be treated as such. You know what I'm saying? And that's why Madden, like what he said, football gaming is at an all-time low. Basically, Madden's at an all-time low because we don't have any other options. And I'm not saying, once again, let me make this crystal clear, not saying anything about, you know, Axis and the Canadian. I'm glad to see those guys progressing. But I want to see their game get better. The more their game keeps coming up, as they are, respectively, it's going to get in a position where we're going to see this game just all of a sudden. It's not going to eclipse Madden, obviously, but it can be a legitimately viable option when that shouldn't be the case either. EA should just be slamming it down on everybody easily. And the thing is, they can, but they won't let it happen. How in the world? I mean, let's just use logic and common sense here. How do you have a guy with the intellect of Anthony White in your building, and you got your defense playing like that? Come on, man. It's not that he don't know what to do. You got to give the man the resources and give him the tools and the resources necessarily to make it happen. Clint Oldenburg, yeah, he ain't no Pro Bowl, offensive lineman, but the thing is, he has the NFL experience, and there are other people that in that studio that have football experience from a playing standpoint, and they have all that know-how that they bring to the table. And I'm like, you're telling me with all that know-how, this is what we're getting? Ultimately, this is the product we're getting. No, and that's why I said earlier, I don't blame devs, and I'm not blaming them. It's because of what they're being allowed to do that I have the problem with. They could do so much more. Madden could have a ridiculous franchise mode at this point. They could have ridiculous gameplay. And you know what? Do all the stuff you do with MUT. 2v2, 1v1, 3v3, I don't care. Do all of that stuff. Super Bowls, do your season, all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. No one cares about that. I'm not tripping on any of that stuff. Just give us the game, man. And that's the main thing you did. I didn't care about any other additional gimmicks that EA did back in the day on PlayStation and all that, because they gave us the game. And the game that I enjoyed the game. I would play that game from August to August. and I play NCAA, especially, you could throw your rosters in and go back. Man, I was going back and forth all day long playing those games. I would be running seasons, both of those games. All right, this week I'm gonna play this. Next week I'm gonna play some of that. Oh, you know what? I gotta play a mix of both because I'm behind on this and I'm too far ahead on that. Like now, obviously it's only one game, but still, it's like the zest ain't even there to want to even play through a season of Madden, and that's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. And you say Clint's not doing the coding. Listen, Clint's not doing the coding, but look at what somebody at home did. I don't know if you were in here earlier about what I said on Operation Sports. If you go there and you look at that mod for what they got on PC, it ain't got nothing to do with Clint. It ain't got nothing to do with the coders. Okay? It's got to do with why EA is not allowing these people to do the work they need to do, because this brother and others over there on OS that are all clicking up and everything, these people are making mods and making adjustments to get this game playing way better than what we got right now on console. And that makes no sense how somebody at home is able to do that with a mod, and they're able to get core gameplay elements functioning better than what we got right now. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And they're able to do it. No, so that's why I'm saying, look, I love Madden. I want to be able to enjoy it. That's why I can't wait until I get my stuff upgraded. Because once I do, which probably be next week at some point, but once I do, I'll be excited. I'll be excited because I'll be like, OMG, this is unheard of. And I mean, if you guys just look through the forum posts and look at look at what people are saying online about these roster, I mean not rosters, but these mods that they've done with Madden at this point, it's absolutely crazy what they're doing to this game. And people, and like I said before, one of the biggest takeaways is that they got all Madden playing balanced. They got all Madden playing legit balanced. Like, yeah, all that cheating and over the top stuff, nah, we nullified all that. So now it don't play that way. Somebody at home did that.
Yeah.
That's, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying once again. This has got nothing to do with the staff. It's got something to do with somebody over the staff that is making these calls and decisions and not letting these people do the work. They know how to do it. They're just not allowed to do it, man. And that's crazy. I can't get over that. I'm tripping off of that, Sim. I'm tripping off of that.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Like I said, if y'all don't listen to anybody else, listen to us, man. I mean, and I'm gonna comment on a few comments here, and then I think we're done. I don't think there's much more to talk about, but
yeah.
I wanted to, and I'm gonna be very, very brief with this because we really shouldn't even address it, but I'll say it this way: it always baffles me how the power that people seem to give to EA Game Changers. I don't understand how y'all come up with this stuff. Like, there's a comment in here, and shout outs to Aaron Wells, and he says he's a fan, but he just has to speak the truth. He says that he says all Madden fans and all Madden game changers, again, all Madden game changers let EA walk all over them. That's why we get no changes. My quick reply to that is, I'm sure EA corporate, they want us to do what we're doing here tonight. I'm sure that's what they would love us to do as game changers. Like, I don't understand how, and I'm gonna be selfish here really quick, Smitty. I don't understand how you and I and Azure and a few others, I can mention, shops of the world and guys who openly speak out and openly criticize the game. I don't understand how people come to that conclusion. I just don't. And I'll leave it at that. But whatever, you're entitled to your opinion, but I don't get it. I don't get how anybody can listen to the way we talk and have that to say about us because we are part of the Game Changer program. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know how you come to that conclusion. The second thing I wanted to talk about is what Kia said, and he's absolutely right. He says, he basically, he says a lot here, but in short, he says that Madden doesn't allow you to play a short game. Okay? You know, he says literally all of the receivers have to do is just take a 2 steps and turn when there's a blitz. You know, obviously you run routes different when the blitz comes. We all know that. That's a part of awareness. That's a part of the, what is it that we always ask for? I'm losing my train of thought. The adaptive AI. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. That's a part of that. You know, you have always heard me say I want to see it on offense and defense. But in Madden, he's right. You can't play a short game. You really can't, because you can't throw the ball. You know, there's no anticipation. And what I was saying to Kia, I think I typed it, but I'll say it here out loud. The funny thing with me, man, is I can't separate my football brain with a Madden brain. And that's why I'm never going to be that great at Madden when the game decides to play against me, in the sense of I'm not being rewarded for decisions. Because there's sometimes I play it, you know, you can play a good game against a like opponent and you can outcoach them, etc., etc. But you're going to run into that point where the game is just not going to reward you for doing the right thing. The football mind in you is not going to help you win the game. And I can't shake that. You know, when I'm playing, I'm trying to strategize. I don't have a Madden brain and a football brain, and I commend people who do, because I just don't. So I'm always either going to win or lose, because I was trying to do something that I know daggone well the game is not going to allow me to do, or it just happened to be the game where it works. And that is a crying shame, man. It should always be that you can use principles, strategies, even if it's the wrong strategy. You know, you should be able to do these things in a sports title. And again, I don't know soccer, but I literally watch people play FIFA, and I've watched some tournaments, and I can see, I see what he's doing. He's setting up a formation. It's working. He's using, you know, this guy's size and skill and weight to his advantage. You don't have that in Madden, plain and simple. And I'm tired of it, man. I mean, I'm just tired of it. I don't know.
Yeah, and one thing I'll add to what Aaron Wells is saying here. Like, I see the points. Think about it like this. We talk about these things, and then certain change doesn't happen, right? Now, what you also got to understand is this: would you go with if you go to McDonald's and say I want filet mignon, okay? They're going to look at you funny like, you pulled up to McDonald's, right? We don't have that. No, but I want it from here anyway. And you guys got to serve it to me. Now, if you get a bunch of people behind you and they all say the same thing over and over and over again, and then guess what? You got the servers, you got the chefs, you got everybody else, food preppers, everything. Hey, we agree with you 110%, man. We want that too. Man, matter of fact, I want to be able to get a porterhouse at McDonald's. I want to get one medium well and all. I want to get it all, right?
Right.
Okay, yeah. So everybody's on board with that. Now, the person who is running the franchise or running that store or whatever, guess what they're going to tell you? Man, you better go ahead and serve up them chicken tenders and burgers and go ahead and miss me with that foolery.
Yeah, Happy Meal.
You know what I'm saying? Better get yourself a Happy Meal and get that Go-Gurt and orange and apple juice and call it a day.
You think you had Ruth Chris?
Exactly. Like,
oh man,
that's literally what it is. That's why we keep telling you guys, it suit executive decisions. It's as simple as that.
That's just that simple, man.
So that's what I'm saying. See, and that's what I mean. Like you're saying it's the same thing. So, and you're saying like, oh, it's basic football. It's bosses. Okay, Aaron,
what
like,
he's saying,
it's simple.
What he's saying in his own comment is our point. Yeah, common sense. Use common sense, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, you saying it to us Use your common sense. I mean, it's in your own statement.
You just said it, bro. It's the same thing, fam. If you don't run your own company and you have a boss, you got to do what they tell you. It's as simple as that. Regardless of what you feel. If they tell you that if you work at a shoe store and your boss come up and say, we gonna sell nothing but 2 right shoes in every box, and all they could wear is 2 right shoes. Guess what? Hey man, all we got is 2 right shoes in these boxes. They're only gonna let me sell you the right shoe. That's it. So, I mean, I know it makes logic and common sense to wear a right and a left, but they only gonna let me sell you 2 rights. What you gonna do about it? Now, either you gonna walk off, you know what I'm saying, or you gonna be selling 2 right shoes.
I get 2 rights, I'm gonna fight.
That's just it, man, and that's it. It's not. That's why when we sit up here and we talk about the hardships and we talk about all this stuff, that's why people think that we can't. That's why the whole game changer thing. It even cracks me up on Twitter at times when people talk. They think that, well, I don't want to lose my voice. I don't want to lose my ability to speak my mind, bro. We've been speaking our mind for years. It ain't never changed. And we've been in this thing since 2012. So we've been doing this a long time, speaking our mind.
Man,
so
I don't know what Aaron talking about. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. At this point, and there's no disrespect. I don't know. I don't understand what you're talking about. Like you must have just recently stumbled upon us. I really don't understand where my man is coming from because, like I said, I don't want to spend too much time, but for you to say Madden is years behind, this is stuff that we have said.
We've been said that, dude.
1 trillion times. Like,
yeah. It is funny.
Man.
It's always going to be funny to us, man, because we've said this stuff before and we still say it. So, I mean, you could do some homework. I mean, well, this is episode 220. We've done 220 of these, dude.
Man.
So if you just do some homework, you'll really know how we've been getting down for a mighty long time. So I don't have to sit here and pout and boo-hoo about it. It's just this is what the situation is. Yeah, we laugh about it. It sucks. We know it sucks. Devs on the inside be like, look, man, y'all got to press this message. Y'all got to press it. But the thing is, our community is small. So it's like we can press the message, but it's got a very high ladder to climb up to reach. It's going to take a lot of people across various audiences to really get that change to happen. Now, is that kind of effect potentially going to make waves? Potentially so. People aren't... You got tournament gamers, like I said earlier, you got signed tournament gamers that feel that really aren't feeling this game at this point. They venting frustrations and everything online as they're on that stage. You got sim community guys talking about it, comp guys talking about it. You got many people across the board that are sharing the same echo in terms of the problem. Yeah, they deal with the game and push through it, but it's like they have a lot of frustrations as well and want the game to be much better. But like we always say, it comes down to the people that make the decisions to make the stuff happen. That's just it. If they don't want to do it, it won't happen. Unfortunately, but it won't happen. And then what we gonna do about it? We just gonna sit here and scream at them about it? No. Like what Sim said, we got Red Dead out here. I'm gonna mess with this PC mod on this Madden. I want to play a great football game. That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
I really want to do this. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm like, you know what? I'm willing to go and play this PC version because the way these mods are going and from me talking with other people on Discord, this game, people are really digging this game with these mods. Like, it's as if they're playing a completely different game than what we got. So
we're gonna see.
I'm down, yeah.
That's why we got Silent Gamer gonna give the feedback, and that's what we want. We want other people to start speaking because I don't know, for some reason we got agendas. That's the stigma. But you know what? We can end it with this. because maybe some people don't know. So I'll make it very plain and simple. How we became game changers, you know what we were doing? We were making feedback videos, and we were reached out to. Hey, you guys do good feedback. How would you like to be in a game changer program? Oh, what is that? Well, basically, you know, you get an opportunity to work directly with the developers. We bring you down from time to time, and you give your direct feedback. Same thing you've been doing, but now you can sit in front of the devs and tell them instead of putting it on Twitter, whatever. You know, still do what you've been doing, but now you can give them direct feedback. That's all a game changer does. They don't pay us. Me and Smitty both work jobs. We have our own careers and our own families. We are not EA employees. All we are you guys with a direct connect to the devs. That's it. That is all a game changer does, is give feedback. That's why you have game changers like those guys, Smitty and Azure and Sim, that are often frustrated. Why? Because the feedback we give is not being incorporated. Ding, ding, ding. That's it. That is all. But for whatever reason, you know, Aaron, you don't seem to get it because you laugh every time we explain it. Whatever. Okay. I mean, I've tried. I don't know what else I could say. We care more than anybody would know. I mean, trust me. And whatever. I mean, I don't know how else to explain it. But that's all a game changer does. There are people who are fortunate to get picked to sit in front of developers and actually develop a relationship with them and provide feedback that way versus just throwing it out there and hoping somebody sees it. That's all. Nothing special. That's all we are. That's it. Yeah. And if the devs can't get something done, how much power do you think we have? We're really there just to reinforce. Because a lot of times we've been there and a dev will pull me to the side and be like, man, I appreciate y'all saying that. I was just having that argument upstairs. That's it. That's all we do. We have no power when it comes to demanding this be changed. If that was the case, I'm going to play devil's advocate and I'm going to be Aaron for a moment. If I thought the way that you're thinking, y'all would be playing the best football game you ever seen right now. Because these things would have been done. We would have got all this stuff done in 2012.
Yeah.
I mean, according to what you're saying, I mean, this would have been done. We would be playing a mega football game right now. Don't work like that, bro.
Especially what Deuce Douglas said.
Oh, you kidding me? And please go watch some of his videos. Y'all hit, man, Deuce Douglas be clowning that game in the middle of his commentary.
Yep.
We all do, because none of us are happy. But we have the ability to speak to the devs directly. I mean, I got plenty of them on speed dial. So that's all it is, man. Nothing special. We're no different than you. We just have been fortunate enough to be picked to be in this program because of the feedback and the hard work we put in. And our shout outs again to 2K Football now. A lot of the reason why I'm probably a game changer is because of all of them 2K videos I used to put out there. And so, there you go. That's it, man. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah. Yep. So, it ain't there's no blame or nothing like that or what have you. You know, like I said, you may not know who we were and all that good stuff. It's just that we take it lightly because we did all the super duper serious blasting. I mean, Sim, like you heard Sim, like, man, I really don't feel like feedbacking like that on this game because we've told them this point so many times. And that's what I'm saying. I gave the majority of my Madden 19 feedback for the next installment during the beta. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like when the beta was out. Because it's not like the game was going to drastically change between then and launch. So it's like a lot of the feedback is already given. What are you guys going to do? Now, it's nice to see what they did in the title updates. I haven't even had that much time to play because dealing with, wife and everything, baby and all. But they added the update to add the defensive play calling actually according to the NFL. See, stuff like that. You really think devs didn't want that to already be in the system a long time ago? Wouldn't it be sweet to do that? Like that's like an initial step towards actually getting team personality, actual coach identity in the game. Like
Oh
that could be building block to
all that.
say this is defensive play calling, this is offensive play calling based upon our personnel. Our personnel changes. Okay, now we got to change how we call offenses and defenses. That's the kind of stuff that we want to see happen with the game. But will they do it? That we don't know. See, but
Ooh, Smitty
that's the
talking now,
potential
boy.
building block. I'm just saying. Because see, you know what? You know what? This is stuff that was all in NFL Head Coach 09.
Man,
If you made personnel change, you would see the CPU teams make personnel changes, draft certain types of players, and they would switch up their offensive and defensive play calling because of the type of players they had. We don't have that in Madden.
It's all
yet.
there. See, guys, it's
That's what I'm saying.
the cookie cutter approach. So they threw us a bone and said, "Oh, we got schemes." But I mean, the secret is out. The cat is way out the bag. Do y'all realize that the schemes really don't do nothing?
Yeah,
because you shouldn't be able to change your scheme in mid-season. You shouldn't be able to switch all these different playbooks. Playbooks should match the scheme. Playbooks and schemes should match the personnel and coach. There should be coordinators there that run this stuff. And like Smitty said, if you make changes, whoa, now we got to switch something up.
Yep.
I mean, come on.
Think about that, Sim. What if you decided to switch up your playbook at the middle of the season, like you said, and they prompt you and say, doing this will take a hit in player confidence. It'll take a serious hit in terms of what plays you'll be able to call because your team is not up to speed and it's in the middle of the season. They give some kind of warning like that. And what if they did the NCAA approach, how it was back in the day? Question marks over your receivers when you pull up the icons on pass plays.
Man, come
on.
y'all
we ain't practiced this yet. So nobody really knows what route. So they're just going to run route. You don't know what route they're going to run. You don't know if they're going to run the same routes that are going to be contradictory because you're calling a play they don't know. You think that and once again, you think they couldn't do something like this, or someone in the studio hasn't said something along those lines already? Come on, dude.
That's franchise mode. That's franchise mode in a nutshell.
Franchise.
I want a game where I have to replicate what the Baltimore Ravens are doing right now.
Yes.
Joe Flacco goes out. Look at how vanilla this offense is with Lamar Jackson. That's what I'm talking about. I want that to be a force where the game would say, whoa, whoa, whoa. He don't know all that. We got to condense this playbook. And again, we are what you call sim nuts. Like, we are out there. Like, we want so much stuff that replicates the real world. And I know not everybody wants it like that. But those are the type of things that Smitty and I, most of you hardcore franchise guys want. That kind of stuff. Can you imagine how immersive your game... Again, I ain't even got to think about the Ravens. Look at my own team. Ben Roethlisberger goes down, and we think we're going to put Joshua Dobbs in the game, in the Oakland game, and think we're going to try to melt this game away. And we couldn't do it. Boy couldn't move the ball. He couldn't do nothing. The only thing he could do was scramble out of pressure and pick up a first down. Passing was horrible. The run game wasn't working. And they lost that game. You know, not necessarily on the offense. The defense gave up that last play. But still, the game drastically changed because Josh Dobbs is now at quarterback. That's what we're talking about. I would love, man, and you talk about being on YouTube. That's the type of stuff I want to do. I would love to just have a channel based on football, like Madden and franchise, whatever the game is. It could be if 2K comes back, but just a game where I'm just doing franchise and we going through all of that kind of stuff. Personnel changes, weekly prep, but a real one. Not the way, like, and then shout outs to Deuce Douglas, man, because this dude actually creates things that ain't even in the game to try to make it interesting. That's how we want the game. I want a full NFL experience. Who's going to make that game? It seems like we're going to have to rely on Madden because I don't think another NFL product is coming. I just don't think it's coming. We're going to see, Smitty. Madden 20 will let me know if I really should be that involved or not, because with new management and all that, if I don't see this game and Tiburon leaning back towards where we were helping it to progress and it's continuing to stray away, I don't think my services is needed, man. I'm gonna be honest. This year is gonna tell us a lot. It's gonna tell us a lot of what we need to know. We'll see. So, there you have it. This turned out to be a great show. And it is 10:01. So, before we roll out, Smitty, man, anything you want to say to the folks, to the people, any last words?
Oh, man, once again, man, first of all, thanks to everybody for, coming through here and hanging out here with us. Definitely, once again, you guys, thanks for all the well wishes, the prayers, everything, the extra, the tweets, everything. I appreciate it greatly. Family does too. Keep us in your prayers and everything too, because it's a bit of a journey. Still have about at least got 2 months before little man can come home. So let him completely be healthy and whole, and then be able to come home, you know what I'm saying, and join his sister and everything. So yeah, but no, I mean, everything's going great, and I just appreciate every single one of y'all. But of course, like always, these dialogues and everything are outstanding. Have a great time with all you guys, and y'all all have a great night.
Yeah. Until
we see you on the next one. So thanks for coming through.
That's right, man. Y'all keep Smitty and family in your prayers, and and like I've been telling Smitty, everything's gonna be fine. I was exactly what Smitty's child is going through. That was me. I was supposed to be born in June. I was born in April. I had to stay in the hospital for over 30 days. My dad said I was a pound. He said you can literally see my heart through my chest. It was like, and it won't looking good for him, but hey, I'm here. So that's what I keep telling Smitty. Don't worry about nothing. Junior is going to be just fine. He actually weighs more than I did when I was born. So, and obviously I weigh way more than 2 pounds now. So, but yeah, y'all keep Smitty and wife and little Smitty in prayer, and even Smitty's daughter, man, because I'm sure, at her age, she don't quite understand why the little, the brother can't be home, so the kids pick up on things. You'd be surprised at a young age. She knows something ain't right, but it's going to be fine. And I hope all of you guys have a happy holidays.
Oh, yeah.
You guys who celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas, because I found out. I go around telling Merry Christmas to everybody, and a lot of, I've been getting people saying, oh, I don't celebrate Christmas. Oh, okay, well, happy holidays then. So, hope everybody has a happy holiday. If you guys enjoy and celebrate Christmas, I want to drop this on you. It ain't about Saint Nick. Celebrate it for what it's supposed to be. That's just a little rant that I'm going through because I don't understand where that guy came from. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's another podcast, but I don't know when that happened. It should have nothing to do with that. If we're really celebrating Christmas for what it was and why gifts are given, I understand it. But that whole Santa Claus thing, I don't know where that came from. But anyway, love you kids. Have a kiss them. Spoil them, let them have a Merry Christmas, and we'll see you guys next week for some more Sim Standard podcasts. Hopefully we'll have more to talk about. Well, hopefully we'll be talking about the mod. I would assume we'll be talking about the mod by then. So outside of that, man, y'all enjoy, watch some football. If you're a Saints fan, please don't beat us too bad. I can't deal with it. But other than that, we catch y'all next week. Peace.
Peace.